Yeah, here we go. It's week 4 of Gambletown. We're back, baby. We're back. I am Tony Martin. That is Ryan Edgecombe. We are 2/3 of the TH Fantasy Podcast and 2/3 of Going to Gambletown. 2/4, 2/5, really. Super producer Josh is at a rugby tournament. Evan Hoovler is here with us, super producing. Wally Dismail is on assignment. Ryan, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great. I'm ready for week 4.
I love
Done
this
with
week.
done with vacations. Yeah, this week's gonna be really good. And coming off of last week, I'm really hoping that I can continue that streak. But something tells me that most likely I'll fall back to earth. But being almost perfect last week was a hell of a feeling.
Ryan, how does it feel to go 6-0 on your top bets of the week, win a parlay all on bets that you made? Not you didn't make them while you were driving, but you declared those to be your bets while driving your automobile.
Yeah. On the way back from Wisconsin, an illegal sports betting state. Yeah, it was pretty
You
awesome.
we Hey, it's not illegal to talk about gambling in another state.
Oh yeah, right. You just can't place the bets.
Exactly. All right, so let's get into it. It's week 4. I feel good about this week. I like this week. We got a lot of games to cover, so let's hammer through. We're gonna start with Denver and the Jets. Jets are home favorites. Your best bet is a minus 370 there, plus 350 at FanDuel for a Denver upset. The spread is 8 and the total is 39.5. Ryan, what do you think about Denver and the Jets?
Well, as we talked about last night on the podcast, I'm liking Tyler Conklin in this game.
Okay.
Uh, his receiving prop right now should be it's at 24 and a half. And as we mentioned last night on the podcast, which listeners can listen to later, Denver pretty much shut down Mike Evans last week when they were playing Tampa, and they pretty much shut down their whole passing game. But if they can shut down Garrett Wilson in this game, I think that's going to leave Tyler Conklin open, and I like his over. And it'll be Aaron Rodgers like safety net, especially because Tony also pointed out that Denver blitzes like what 50% of the time or something like
50
that.
50% of their defensive snaps they blitz.
Right, and Rodgers going to need that safety net, and you also pointed out that Rodgers actually does really well against the blitz. So
8.7 yards per attempt and a 134.5 passer rating against the blitz.
hell yeah. So I like Tyler Conklin in this game. I also like a Brees Hall touchdown. It's gonna be pretty juiced right now. It was at 170 yesterday. It went down to minus 155 on FanDuel. So I like a Brees Hall touchdown, and I like Conklin's over. You got anything in this game?
I do. So as our guy Ryan just pointed out here, Denver loves to blitz, and as I pointed out, Aaron Rodgers has been shredding the blitz. A lot of his blitz throws have been going to Alan Lazard, and so I wanted to point out that Alan Lazard has run 25 routes against the blitz this season, and on those 25 routes, he's caught 5 passes for 84 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's
So
crazy.
So you got to imagine Patrick Sertan is going to be on Garrett Wilson. And so if to me it's we are and we talked about this on the podcast last night. We're head to head on this. Who's Rodgers going to be dumping off to when Denver brings heat? I think it's going to be Lazard. Ryan thinks it's going to be Conklin. I think both are good plays, but I don't want to bet on Lazard's yards, so I'm just going with a touchdown.
Sure.
And it's actually my millionaire bet. It's part of my parlay and it's my millionaire bet at plus 280. So since I cashed my millionaire bet last week, I could return 52.56 if Lazard scores this week.
Sure.
All right.
Um, a- and if you think that's a possibility too, for chopping it down the field, or not chopping it down the field, getting a little screen passes, maybe Brees Hall's receiving over seems a little low at 29 and a half. Um, he could sprinkle all three of those guys, Lazard, Conklin, Brees. Oh yeah. Um,
Yeah.
should be
Do you know that Brees Hall has got a 20% target share this year, and he has the same number of PPR receiving fantasy points as Mike Evans so far this season.
wow.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right. Moving on. Cincinnati at Carolina. Cincinnati road favorites. Best bet is minus 208 on Sugar House. Best bet for a Carolina home upsets plus 199 on Profit X. Spread is 4.5. Point total is 47.5. Ryan, what do you got?
This game, I don't have too much. I think Bengals are going to dominate. I like, let's see, I like Burrow's passing over, I think, because I think Cincinnati's going to put up over 30 points.
Okay.
Burrow's at 255 and a half. I think it's time for the Bengals to ball out after starting the season 0 and 3. Um, this is a Dalton revenge game. Just remember that. Um, but um, I pointed out earlier when we were talking before this that even though the Bengals started 0 and 3, the team still ranks seventh in expected uh, or EPA per play on uh,
Right.
this side. So um, they're going to be good. They've just gotten some bad beats. Um, but other than that, I don't have too much in this game. I'm just interested to watch the Bengals completely blow out the Panthers.
I kind of think that this game is going to be a shootout. Um,
Okay.
one of my top plays of the week is Zach Moss to go over 54.5 yards rushing.
Okay.
I love it. I mean, Zach Moss has a 70% rush share. They're playing against one of the worst EPA allowed on the ground offense or defenses in the league. Um, I think Deontay is a smash play this year. Cincinnati has the last week against Washington. Cincinnati had the sixth lowest pressure rate game of the entire season so far across all teams.
Really?
Yep, and Dalton and Deontay connected a lot last week. Um, Deontay is a beast when the quarterback has a clean pocket. I think Andy Dalton is this year's Joe Flacco. I wanted to point out Bryce Young in weeks 1 and 2 had 38 catchable targets. Andy Dalton in week 3 had 29 catchable targets.
Oh, wow.
I don't think that Carolina's got the guns to make this a competitive game, but I could definitely see a 34 to 14, 34 to 20 type game.
Sure, sure.
Um,
So you like that over then?
I'm on the fence about it. I think it's gonna be close, but I do want to say that the Bengals lead the NFL in pass rate over expected, so they are
Yeah.
chucking the fucking rock.
Yeah. I mean, the fans right now, the sports bettors are betting the under. The juice is on the under right now. But
Right.
I could see going for the over. If we think this is going to be a crazy shootout. I did take Cincinnati's money line in my money line parlay, but that's really the only thing I have from this game.
I did a
Um,
touchdown parlay, and Lazard and Moss are 2/3 of
oh
my
yeah,
touchdown parlay.
yeah, that's right. Yep.
All right. So we're going on. It's Philly and Tampa Bay. Devonta Smith is out. AJ Brown still questionable. Bucky Irving questionable. Um, I'm gonna start because I don't really have much here. I love Saquon in this game, but his rush line is pretty high. Let's go through the numbers real quick.
Yeah, what was it at?
Philly
It
are
was like
Philly are
70, right?
Philly are we'll look in a minute. Philly are
Okay.
road favorites. You can get them for minus 118 on the money line on FanDuel. A Tampa Bay home upset would be plus 109 on Profit X. Spread is it's pretty much a pick 'em. It's between 1 and 1.5, and the line is between 42.5 and 43. I love Saquon this week. I fucking love him, but his rushing total is 76.5.
Okay.
That's
I
a lot.
Yeah, yeah, that is a lot. You know what? I'd be hesitant to bet that as well. But you know what? I would bet is a Saquon touchdown for sure, maybe even
Sure.
two.
Um,
Um,
actually, can I point out to you that you got Saquon over 75.5 when I got it. One of my top five plays of the week.
oh shit.
Faced.
Um, Waleed, one of his top five bets this week is Godwin, over 70 yards, and he got that at plus 105 on DraftKings. Um,
Yeah, I'm
that's the only thing he has from this game.
Philly's really weak against the slot. Um, They allow the sixth most receiving yards per game to slot wide receivers so far. Chris Godwin's had 8 or more targets, 6 or more catches, and a touchdown in every game this season.
Sure. I did not take um I did not take the Buccaneers in my money line parlay, but I might go back and change it. We'll see. But I do like the Buccaneers, I think, to win this game because something tells me that AJ Brown might not play because Philly's got a bye in week 5.
Yeah, why would you play him?
And why, yeah, why would you have him play? So that means that Devonta and AJ Brown potentially are both going to be out. And we've seen what Baker can do. He's been baking, except for the last game,
Right.
which is that surprising loss to Denver.
Oven was off.
Um, right. Um, the only thing that scares me is, but the Eagles have covered 8 straight games when the line's between 0 and 3, and it's at 1.5. That scares me, but I think Buccaneers have a better chance to win this game with both of Philly's offensive players out. And Philly's secondary is not that great. So I think Baker has a chance to really bake during this game. But the only thing I'm really interested in is that Tampa Bay money line.
I wanted the Saquon rushing over because even if the weather still kind of sucks out there from residuals from the hurricane, um, Saquon's still gonna get 20 something touches.
Sure, yeah,
He's
yeah,
also had Saquon's had over 95 rushing yards in every game so far in Philly.
sure.
So
He
uh,
is
this is
he's
intriguing.
minus 140 for a touchdown right now. He's actually plus 500 for 2 touchdowns. That could be interesting.
Not
But
terrible.
I'll probably just end up doing the one because he's definitely going to get one.
Okay.
But I think ultimately Tampa Bay wins this game.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's go the Rams at the Bears. Bears are home favorites. You can get a minus 148 on DraftKings, plus 140 on Caesars for a Rams upset. Spread is 3, total is 40 and a half. The only
Well,
the only explicit play I have in here is part of my touchdown parlay, and that's a Kyron Williams touchdown.
so shockingly, Waleed has a lot of stuff from this game.
You
So
don't say.
he's got, let's see, he took Caleb's over on DraftKings at plus 130 over 235.5 yards. He also has a same game parlay. He took, yeah, he took, so wait, something's not right here. He took Caleb in his same game parlay over 275 yards, but the regular line is 235.5.
So he just took an adjusted line.
Yeah, did he do an alternate? Okay.
Yeah.
So he took Caleb's over alternate 270.